Hello, my name is Putri Hasna binti Rahman, matric number 272497. Good day to our lecturer and my fellow friends. Today, me and my partner will be presenting Chapter 2, which is Accident and Cause Effect. In the first slide, we can see that it stated what is accident. So, an accident is an unplanned and uncontrolled event which cause or is likely to cause injury. It is something which unexpected, unpredictable, or intended or not desired. An accident may cause a result of some unsafe activity at working condition and etc. Accidents which take place in the workplace are referred to as occupational accident. Workplace accidents include events that damage property, inhibit a particular workplace function, or cause harm to a person located in the workplace. Occupational accidents are also referred to as work-related accident. And the personal harm they cause may be referred to as an occupational injury, occupational death, or other label which specify the cause of the harm was occupational in nature. So, the next slide we can see accident and cause factor 1974. This is, as we can see in the slide, this is a Freiberg's domino theory. Henry's theory of domino sequence is updated by Freiberg to explain the circumstances that lead to the losses, which is injury, in the chronological order of 5 dominoes, which is we have this 5 column in the slide. The first column is lack of control by the management. So, we can see that lack of control by the management is the first domino refer the fourth function of the management, which is planning, organizing, directing, controlling, coordinating, job analysis, personal communication, selection and training standard. Identify measuring performance by standard and correcting performance by improving the existing programs and fail to follow SOP. The first domino may fall due to the inadequate standard, programs and follow-up. Next, we can see the second column is basic cause. In the basic cause, we can see the personal factors and job factors. Personal factors refer to the lack of knowledge or skill, improper motivation, and physical or mental problem. And second is job factor, refer to the inadequate work standard, design, maintenance, purchasing standard, abnormal usage, etc. These basic cause are origin and substance acts and condition, and failure to identify them permit the second domino to fall, which initiate the possibility to further chain reaction. For example, in staffing perspective, they have to make sure employee were well trained. And then move to the third column, which is immediate cause. Immediate cause are only symptom of the underlying problem. They are substandard practice of condition known as unsafe acts and unsafe conditions that could cause the fourth domino to fall. These causes should be identified, classified, and removed by appropriate measure. So we move to the the fourth column, which is incident. Accident or incident is the result of unsafe acts or an unsafe condition. At this point is the context stage. Some countermeasure employ a deflection, dilution, reinforcement, surface modification, segregation, protection, absorption, shading, and increased severity. And the lastly is accident loss. The loss may affect people, property, process or production, such as the worker. For the people, the worker will get harmful or injury. The property may be damaged by the accident, and the production of the product will be a delay or it's burnt. Okay, in the next slide, we can see the structure of accident. This figure shows the structure of accident and understanding of the cause and effect relation of the accident. Causing factor is required before continuous improvement of safety process can be undertaken. So in this structure, we need to understand what is the contributing causes that may lead to the immediate cause, and then accident and the result. First, the contributing causes we have three, which is safety management performance, mental condition of workers, and physical condition of worker. Safety management performance is the main important causes that we need to understand properly. We need, as a worker, as a management, need to know. Firstly, instruction inadequate, rules not enforced, safety not planned as part of the job, infrequent employee safety contact, hazard not corrected, safety device not provided. These are the lack of by management control. And then we have mental condition of worker, lack of safety awareness, which is the employee not aware about the safety awareness, and then lack of coordination, improper attitude, slow mental reaction, inattention, lack of emotional stability, nervousness and temperamentalism. And lastly, we have physical condition of worker, which is extreme fatigue, deaf, poor eyesight, they cannot see properly, on such as if they do the works, they cannot see clearly, they cannot hear clearly, and then crippling or other handicap. This contributing cause will make immediate cause happen. We have unsafe acts and unsafe condition. In unsafe acts, protective equipment or guard provided but not used, which is for example, construction worker not wearing the hard hat at the construction site. Hazardous method of handling, such as failure to watch for sharp or slippery object and pinch point, lifting loose grips. This a result from workers not wearing protection footwear and result to the slippery. And then we have improper tools or equipment used despite availability of proper tools, such as using hand instead of using tool and equipment to handling machine or other object. And then we have unsafe condition. This is in unsafe condition, we have ineffective safety device, no safety device although one is needed, hazardous housekeeping such as material on floor, poor piling, and then equipment, tools or machine defective, like using old equipment, improper dress or apparel for job, like construction worker just wear slipper to the construction site, but not wearing proper safety boots. This immediate cause will result to the type of incident, which is being caught in a orbit mechanical of the object, fall, slip, slide, collision, eruption of explosion, and burn. And lastly, The result, production delay, reduced quality, spoilage, property damage, minor injury, disabling injury, and lastly fatality. So, we can see that as a result, as an unplanned and uncontrolled event which the action or reaction and object, substance, person or radiation result or personal injury. Variation of this result can be found throughout the safety literature. Accident causation is very complex and must be understood adequately in order to improve accident prevention. Since safety lack a theoretical base, it cannot be regarded as being a science yet. This fact should not discourage, as most of the scientific discipline, mathematics, statistics, and so on.
Next, we are moving to the cause of accidents. There are two types, which is insured cause and uninsured cause. Insured cause, also known as direct cause, meanwhile uninsured cause is indirect cause. As you can see, it could be related to an iceberg because, like an iceberg, most of the costs are not immediately visible. The costs recoverable through insurance are visible, which is an insured cost, meanwhile but hidden beneath the surface are the uninsured costs. Next, we move to the insured cost. The first one is direct payment to Social Security Organization, which is Occupational. In this case, employers are required to pay monthly contribution to each eligible employee according to the rate specified under the Employer Social Security Act 1969. The second one is medical cost. This is where employers will pay for medical, surgical, prescription drug for their employee. And then the third one is lost work hours, which is for the injured employee. This is referred to accidents that result in a disability or employee missing work due to any injury happen. Next, the fourth one is insurance premium, also known as group insurance. This is basically where it will be purchased by company or organization and they will be offered to its member or the employees. Plans can only be purchased by groups, which means individuals cannot purchase coverage through this plan. But however, for the premium ones, this is split between the organization and its member, and coverage may be extended to members, family, and other dependents for an extra cost. Next, the fifth one, which is property damage. It is including harm to an automobile, a fence, a tree, or a home, or any other possession. Then, for the uninsured cost, the first one is wages for non-productive working hours for uninjured employees. This is, for instance, where there is a fire outbreak at the workplace, this employer will be paid by the company. And then for the second one is overtime. This obviously will be paid for the workers who are doing overtime. The third one is wages for accident investigation. In this case, consultant will be hired to handle to investigate the accident for further. Then we do have low output by each employee. This is where when they are returned to the job. And then we do have training costs. New employee will be paid. And then for the uninsured medical costs, this is where, for instance, medical card will be given, and a certain disease or certain accident will be covered. Next, we do have administrative costs. Next, for the legal costs, this is where if any accident occurs, and employers will be responsible for the accidents, and also an action will be taken by the Department of Occupational Safety and Health. And then we do have the other costs as well. Also, based on the illustration above, we can see that this is one of the example of uninsured cost, which is of time. Next, we are moving to the assignment accident classification. For this, there are 4 classes. For the class 1 accidents, which is can be classified as several stage, which is might cause death. For instance, like lost work day, this is could be related to COVID-19. This is where movement control order, or known as MCO, has been enforced by the government. So this is where most of workers have lost their work days. And then permanent partial disabilities, temporary total disability as well. And then for the class 2 accidents, this is where treatment will be treated by a physician outside of the company facility. For instance, if the workers are involved in any accidents, but which is might not too severe than the class 1 classification. And then we do have the class 3 accidents. This is locally provided first aid, property damage provided to the employers. And then we do have the class 3 accidents as well, and the fourth one, which is class 4 accidents. This is can be considered as minor case, which is like if there are any accidents happen, no need the workers no need to bandage, and sometimes it's a common accidents that faces by workers at the workplace. And then we are moving to the accidents and their impact on an industry. In this slide, there are various examples of industry. The first one, we do have mining or quarrying. The mining industry sector includes extraction of naturally occurring mineral solids such as coal, liquid mineral, or petroleum. And then we do have our agricultural sector, such as farming, forestry, fishing, but they also include growing crops, raising animals, harvesting animals from farm, and agricultural support service. And then we do have the construction, transportation. Construction for the construction industry usually include heavy construction and specialty trade contractors such as plumbing, electrical, and carpentry. And then for the transportation, this sector includes transportation of cargo and passengers, warehousing and storage of goods, support activities related to transportation by rail, highway, and others. And then we do have manufacturing. This is where most workers are relying on using the machines as well. And then we do have service and trade. Next, we are moving to the most frequent injuries to specific body parts. We do have like back, leg, fingers, eye, head. And for instance, like the back, and this always happen because when the workers trying to lift on something heavy, they do not practicing the right lifting technique, which could affect the back, and it could make the back become severe, and obviously it will affect the work performance as well.
And then we move to the next slide, which is most frequent injury to specific body part is first. In this picture, we can see slip and fall, wet surface. This means in a workplace where floors may be oily or wet, or where workers spend considerable time, or the prevention of fall incident should focus on selecting proper footwear. Since there is no footwear with anti-slip property for every condition, consultation with manufacturer is highly recommended. Properly fitting a footwear increases comfort and prevent fatigue, which in turn improves safety for the employee. And then in this picture, we can see the improper lifting technique. The improper lifting technique can lead to the back, leg, and arm pain. Poor technique can cause both acute injury and serious long-term effect. Learning the right way to lift will help avoid the problems. In the next slide, we can see the other example of injury at construction site or at factory, like step on glass because not wearing proper shoes that's suitable to wear. Okay, in the next slide, we can see the example of other most frequent injury to specific body parts, such as the nails, penetrate eyes, or hands can happen because not wearing protective equipment. And then the next slide, we can see the Malaysian context of reported case death or permanent disabled. We can see from year 1994 to 2001, there is a decrease of the cases starting from 1994. After government implementing Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 was established, total reported case that permanent disabled are decreased. We can see that the law that enforced by government play the important role. Okay, the next slide, we can see the relationship of accident and others element, which is indirect relationship, productivity, product quality. So these both need to be balanced, because thinking safety can be ignored in production is akin to saying that efficiency and the cost of production don't matter. A safety mishap severely can impact both the volume and cost of production like few other things can. The small gains made in production by shortcutting safety seem to be worthwhile until an accident occurs. Then the gains disappear or even become losses in many cases. So balancing these two priorities tends to enhance both. Either one triumph over the other will not only damage this effort but also create collateral damage in other areas of the organization. So the last slide, we can see that an illustration of a memory of the worker who doesn't follow the safety rules. In this illustration, we can see the meaning that the worker that's not follow the safety rule in company or organization may be involved in an accident that result to fatal injury or death. That's all from me. Thank you.